Welcome to the Movement PT Coffee Cast, where we sit down and talk about physical therapy, health, and whatever else comes to mind during our coffee-infused conversations. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Movement PT Coffee Cast. My name's Dalton, and I'm coming at you with another EspressoCast this week. If you're new to the PT Coffee Cast, welcome. We're pumped to have you. This is one of the two types of episodes we do here. So the EspressoCast is usually a short hitter where we sit down and we talk about a topic, an experience, something that we read throughout the week. We share it with you guys, and we'd like to hear back from you on your thoughts about the topic. Our second type of show is our interview show, where we sit down and we interview another healthcare professional, whether it be a physiotherapist, a strength coach, again, hopefully a psychologist sooner than later, anyone in the space in which we can have a conversation about how we can make the healthcare space better. So those are our two types of episodes. Before we get into this week's EspressoCast, I have something to ask of you guys. So if you've listened to our episodes over the last couple weeks, we've partnered with 24 Hours of Heroes, which is an event that raises money to support Wounded Warriors Canada. And they put on a 24-hour event, which every hour you perform one hero CrossFit style workout, and the money that they get from the participation of that goes to the foundation. So Will and I are trying to raise some money for them. So we've started a Facebook fundraising page. We're asking for you guys to help support us. If you've ever had any value from our content, whether it be our podcast, our Instagram, our Facebook, anything like that, please help and donate to this cause. You can find the link in our bio on Instagram. You can find it in the show notes. We're asking for any sum of money. If you can fork up $1, that's great. Like a cheap cup of coffee is like $2. So if you guys could skip your cheap coffee or your really expensive coffee and donate it to this event, we'd really appreciate that. It will go a long way. If you want to hear more about what that event is, we did a podcast episode with Gordon Sherry. Head over to iTunes and check that out. All right, guys. So to get in today's episode, I want to talk about a little experience that I had actually today. So I just got back from the gym. Something that I think people don't realize, so people who generally exercise all the time or are very much into training and being healthy, we create this image that it's always easy. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. So I wanted to share a little story with you today. So for me, I enjoy exercising. I try to exercise, 5 to 6 days a week and be basically physically active almost every day. So maybe not training, but I like to be physically active. Try to be physically active every day. Anyway, so today my intentions were to wake up at 6 a.m., get to the gym for 7 a.m., do my workout, come back home, do some things and then go to work. Unfortunately, it didn't happen today. So I did the old alarm goes off, you're sitting in the bed, you have those conversations with yourself. All right, I'm going to get up. No, actually, I'm just going to stay in bed. I'll go for 7. Oh, no, I'll go for 8. No, I'm not going to go today. I'm just going to take a day off, let my body relax. Oh, I'm kind of sore. You start telling all these stories to yourself, and this happens all the time. So I fought with myself for a little while. I ended up not getting up at 6 or 7. The clock rolled into around 8 a.m. And then I finally decided, all right, bro, you got to get up. You got to do it. And I just wanted to talk about how I think mood follows action. And I've heard this before. I can't remember where I've heard it, but I think it's a common term. But today was a great representation of that whole thought. So I'm going to give you 3 strategies that I used today that helped me actually get out of this kind of rut that I was in and get into the gym and do my exercise, which then ended up actually making me feel a lot better, which led to this podcast. So first thing, guys, I think that's really important when you run into these problems, especially if you're new to exercising and you're trying to just get into a habit or a routine. And when you start having these conversations with yourself, you really just need to ground yourself and refocus. And that can be done in many different ways. So I'll give you the example that I did it today. So I use the app Headspace. It's a mindfulness app. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. It's really awesome. I've started to do mindfulness daily at least trying to do it daily. So this was a way that I used to kind of ground myself, become more self-aware of the situation, and just become focused. So I did that, a 10-minute headspace, but it doesn't have to be headspace. It can be anything that grounds you. It could be just sitting, in a quiet room and doing some deep breathing. It could be going out for a walk without any devices. Anything that's going to ground you, refocus, and maybe have some of that positive self-talk with yourself, like, okay, I can do this, I can get up, I can get out and get to the gym. Second thing, just get there and start. Just get to where you need to go and start. So whether that's the gym, whether it's going for the run, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's going just up and down your stairs, if that's what your exercise is in your current life, just get there and start it. And then once you start, whatever you start, you must finish, no matter what it is. Whether you're just going for a 10-minute jog, whether you're going for a 20-minute walk, whether you're doing a 30-minute AMRAP, which is what I did today, you just start it, get there, no matter what it is, how sluggish, how slow it is. I literally walked in the gym. I didn't even warm up. I was like, I just need to get started and get moving. I got started, and then I said, okay, I'm going to finish this workout. So that's a good way to just get in there and then let your body kind of do its thing. And then third, this can be challenging, but I'm lucky enough to be in a really good environment at the gym that I work at and train at. Shout out to Movement Strength. It's an amazing environment, amazing community where like there's great people there, and it's such a positive environment that like when you walk into that place and you start having conversations with the people that are there, and there's always someone there, it starts to change your attitude around. And then on top of the fact you start to get moving, it's just a really good place for me. And so I guess what I would say is for yourself, you need to try and find that environment, whether it's a gym that provides that for you, or whether you're just creating that environment on your own. So if that's your own gym, your home gym, like make it an environment that you really enjoy going to. Or if that's just going out for a walk, like make it an environment that brings you joy or that makes you happy, because that environment can really change how you're feeling. Another way you can do it, if you don't have the support from other people, which I know a lot of people, don't, use the resources that we have in today's day and age, like the internet and social media. And this is where I think these platforms are awesome, because you can go, if you need a little motivation, which we all do, like I need it all the time, head to YouTube and find a video of someone that you really enjoy watching that gives like some good positive thoughts. Or head to Instagram, like one person that pops into my mind, and I 100% think everyone on this platform that's listening to this podcast should be following, and that's Joe Rinaldi. I'll link his Instagram in the show notes. That guy puts out such positive content, whether it's motivational, whether it's challenging your thoughts, whatever it is. Like I go to his Instagram page often and read some of the things that he puts, and it helps put me in a better mindset and starts to change my mood and my actions. So create an environment, or go to the environment that brings you joy, that pushes you to want to do the things that you're set out to do. So those are three things that I used today. And what I noticed and what prompted me to do this podcast was, once I grounded myself, once I just got to the gym and started, and then got to that environment that brings me joy and that is motivating for me, my mood started to shift. So originally my mood was I don't want to go to the gym. I'm not feeling it today. I was kind of down. I was in a negative space, some negative self-talk. And then I just said, okay, I need to take action and just get there. And once I started getting there and I just got to the gym and started moving, my mood started to change. And when I left the gym, I was in such a good place. I felt good. I was happy. My mind had shifted. I felt positive. I just could really feel the difference. And if you've trained before, or you exercise, you've done any physical activity when you're maybe down, and at the end of it you've accomplished it, the feeling that I'm talking about. And if you haven't experienced that, I think that's why exercise and physical activity and training is so powerful, and is why I preach it on the daily. You should experience it because it's really great. just to finish off, guys, I'm going to put out 2 other resources that I've read over the last little bit that I think are awesome to continue on this topic of like action and habit change. So first one, and I know I shout him out all the time, but I really do appreciate his content, and he is putting out quality stuff. Nick Hanna at Hanna Moves. I read one of his posts. It might have been a little bit older of a post. I was creeping his Instagram, and he had a post about habit formation and some tips and strategies on how to do that. So I'll link that Instagram post in the show notes for you guys to check out. Also, another person that I've followed a lot lately, he's an author, a writer. I think he does some coaching, but Brad Stolberg, he wrote a piece. I can't remember exactly where it was written, but I follow his newsletter, Peak Performance, which if you guys are interested in like health and stuff, I would highly suggest like checking out. But he wrote a nice piece on habit change and gave some really good examples and things to think about when you're trying to form a new habit. And I know exercise and physical activity is a habit that is hard to get accustomed to. And I've been there myself, where I've been in ruts where I've not wanted to train or I've not wanted to exercise, and I've gone through periods of time where I haven't. So I know what that feels like. So having some strategies in some ways to help you form that habit is great. And it doesn't even have to be exercise. It could be any habit that you're trying to do, whether it's a new hobby, whether it's trying to build a better relationship, etc. It's very transferable to a lot of different life topics. So I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Just wanted to share a little bit of a story that I had. For those of you out there who think that you see all these people on Instagram that are constantly motivated and training, that's not the reality. All of us struggle. All of us have days like today. And if you're trying to start a new habit, don't feel like, this is just you. We're all experiencing it. So just to summarize some of the things that I did today, I grounded myself and refocused. I did that through the app Headspace, but you could do it in many different ways, such as going for a walk, breathing, positive affirmations, gratitude journal, etc. I just got there and started. And then once I started, I made sure that I finished. And number 3, I went to an environment that puts me in a positive space, that has people that can motivate me or can just make me smile, which is Movement Strength. Big shout out again to them. If you don't have that environment, how can you create it? So can you create your own environment at home that's joyful or positive for you? Can you go and find, some motivating videos or content that can help change or shift your mind? There's a couple different options out there. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Give me the feedback. Let me know if you liked this or you didn't like it. I want to try maybe doing a little bit more podcasts like this where I'm sharing personal experiences. Like this literally just happened this morning, and now I'm recording it, and hopefully it'll get out today, Wednesday. But yeah, give me your feedback. Guys, please help us out with some donations for 24 Hours of Heroes. We're really trying to raise some money to give it to a good cause. Will and I are going to be participating in the event. 4 workouts we're going to do over the 24-hour period, and you guys are going to be the ones choosing which ones we do. So your support would mean the world to us. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode or you've taken value away from any one of our episodes, head to iTunes, subscribe, leave us a review. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at the MVMT PTs. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. We love you. Peace.